Knowledge. We are starting the recording now. Just 1 minute. Yep, all good.
Post this, you'll be uploading in the YouTube as well, right? So
Yes, yes.
yeah.
This all will be recorded and it will be posted in YouTube. Those who are attending, I would request them to switch off their camera. That would be nice. Thank you very much again for joining. This is your host Umesh, and with me I have my co-host as Rachit, and today's speaker is Vikas. Uh, let's get let's get started with the slide. So we just finished with our first anniversary, and this session is session number 22. I
Congratulations,
will
Rachit and Umesh, for the anniversary.
thank you. So here is our group introduction. We will be talking about the group introduction. If you see, we started around 1 year back with Rachit, Umesh, Satya sir, and Rahul sir. And the main motto of this group would be the sharing and caring, basically share the knowledge and grow amongst them, basically grow with everyone. This particular group is focused on Dynamics business application as well as on Azure and the Power Platform because all technologies are actually tightly coupled and they are moving hand in hand. And in case you have any sessions which has to be taken forward, we can you can connect with us, any of the volunteer member. And these are our group logos, LinkedIn, our logos in the LinkedIn as well as on we are on Twitter as well as on YouTube with the name D365 UG India, and the logos are listed over here. These are the past sessions. If you see, we started around 10 July and 16th July was our solutioning on the one one admin and one platform, one developer and one developer, one admin and one I think environment kind of session. And today's session is morely focused on the enterprise health dashboard for the CFO. Our speaker is Vikas, and let's get started. I will invite Mr. Vikas. He is carrying a very good experience. He is in he's in CTO of Befelsoft. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Umesh. Uh, Umesh, you want me to share my screen and get started?
Yes, please.
All right. Please confirm when my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Right. So, I mean, there are two things I want to, talk before we get into detail. Like why I wanted to talk about the dashboard specific things and what we have been doing, what we have been experiencing in industry. What made me feel that this is an important topic for people to know and understand. There was a time when most of the organization used to look for an enterprise application to handle their or to handle, let's say, data entry problems. That is long gone because now systems are so robust that these problems are being handled automatically. But now the selection of a system is decided based on what insight it provides to, let's say, CXOs, right? Uh, because it's understood that the process level and the data level being work being taken well care by those systems as these systems have matured over a period of time. Like myself have worked on this system from I think it's now 18 years, and I've worked on various systems. I've seen how it has evolved from a system which I could run from my laptop to a system that needs a very extensive network now, but that gives multi-time capabilities and functionality for an organization to grow and use. We will be talking about what, in terms of dashboard, I'm talking about. There are many misconceptions about dashboard. What people have that, okay, well, this is, can I really do it outside the system? Is it specific dynamics, or uh, can I use it outside dynamics? Can I bring in my legacy system in? Can I bring in my other data in? So we'll be talking about all these queries, and I hope I should be able to answer and clear those things around it. Small introduction on Baffleso, founded in 2017. And since then, we have been growing and helping customers on various technology as an end-to-end solution company, where we are partnered with ServiceNow to handle IT, DMS, the Microsoft Gold partner to service anything related to Microsoft, from reselling to implementation and support. And recently, we also acquired SAP implementation and partner work, where these two looks these two looks more in competition, but actually no. I mean, we have very customers who are actually using all of these things together to fulfill their needs. Because in current world, I've not seen a single system who can really fulfill the need of all big enterprises. They do look for multiple system, and that's really, we thought that it will be adding more value to customer if we have those capability to help them in all those areas. So that's where ServiceNow, Microsoft, and SAP comes all together. We are also ISO 27001, 2013 certified company to take care of our data securities. We'll be talking about small introduction that I'll talk about myself, though I did speak a little bit in the earlier slide. We'll talk about what problems are being faced by, let's say, CFO. That is, though I'm using CFO, but it's actually for CXOs. CFO being one persona I'm going to use for this particular presentation and discussion, so that we are focused, we are not going around. Then we'll talk about what visibility CFO look for, and how do they really see this problem being resolved by making the data and insight visible to them. We look at some of the samples dashboards, which gives you small idea that when I say dashboard means what. Basically. That's me. Being now 18 years, and I've been acting more as an enterprise architect than a CTO in most of my career, where I've experienced various technologies from Microsoft to non-Microsoft, within Microsoft, ERP, CRMs, Azure, Power BI, DevOps, analytics, and outside Microsoft, SAP, some of the open source, Java, all of things I've done. I mean, why I need to do all this? Because when customer needed some solution, as an enterprise architect, I needed to find the best possible solution available to fulfill the need, rather than going with one solution that is not really helping the needs there. So I've experimented, a lot in terms of how multiple technologies can come together to solve needs, which may be a local need for a customer, maybe a global need for a customer. And I have, extensive work experience working with customers in Europe, USA, and Asia side of it. In terms of industries, I have extensive experience working on CTRM, ERP implementations. I have with commodity and soft commodity being core, something I have developed in last 4 to 5 years. I have extensive experience with service industry and manufacturing, where in terms of modules, if I talk about, then core finance, supply chain management being handled along with project accounting. Let's talk about the purpose, right? When we talk about dashboard, what is that current CXO is looking for? Whenever I've spoken to any of my customers and the person who is representing a CXO persona, they want, no, I want a very quick information. I want flexibility because my requirements may change. Today I need one dashboard, but tomorrow that requirement may change. I want a scalability because my data is increasing. I may get into TBs of data, and it looks very impossible task to bringing that data or scan the data and give me information on a single slide. I want it to be available, right? I mean, I don't want that it's not available when I need it, and I want it to be available. I want it to be accessible anywhere I need. I'm mobile. I'm traveling. I have multiple system in place. So I want it to be accessible as and when I need on whatever platform I need. At the same time, it should be affordable. I don't want to build something which may looks easy as of now. I may even look at maybe heavy capital expenditure, but when it comes to operation, that really kills the whole objective. So ROI is very important. And you know, and these are not what I mean. I haven't heard a different version from anyone. You know, everyone talks about that. And why is that? Like I said, the decision making for current CXOs have moved from fixing their compliance and data entry problems to data insight, so that they can make quick decisions. And this has proven, right, in the recent years when a whole world went through a COVID-related pandemic, and business were changing very rapidly. All CXOs wanted a system or some insight in place which they can see it every day and make decisions every day, right? I mean, those could be decisions that can change the way they're working. I mean, they were okay changing the process, uh, then losing the business altogether. But how can they change a process unless data insight? That's where the combination of flexibility, scalability, availability, connectivity, accessibility, and affordability come together and play an important role. Some idea, like what kind of dashboard, let's say CFO, as that is a focused persona as of now in this call. What I'm looking at for CFO, the very first thing is okay. Let me look at my budget. Let me see where I stand now. If I'm under budget, over budget, and how much is that? If I'm under over budget, then what is the reason for it? What all those items or activities or department which is that are causing it, right? What are my top 5 expenses? I mean, those expenses can be for within a year or quarter or monthly or even weekly, right? I want to see how my revenue is being generated. What is my actual revenue, maybe accrued revenue or a budgeted revenue, right? Whenever we talk about budget, we usually confuse it with only expense side of budget, but the revenue side budget is equally important, which CXOs look more seriously than the expense side of budget, because they want to focus more on top line than a bottom line, especially the growing organization. They're okay, leaving the bottom line not that much track, but the top line becomes much more important, which is nothing but revenue. How's my account receivable? Because cash flow management is very important. You might be generating revenue, but what about the cash flowing in, right? So where it is stuck, what can be done to improve my cash flow situation? Is there any bad debt? Well, every company has this kind of problem. Bad debt, what I want is actually is a bad debt, or maybe there is possible bad debt in terms of delays, etc. How has been my expenses in terms of expense category when I compare with actual and budgeted expenses? And then same thing I'm talking about on the revenue side. So if I am a CFO and I look at my insight, or what I call dashboard, if it tells me that okay, where do I stand, maybe on a weekly basis, or even if I can run a daily basis, think this was my budgeted revenue and this is my actual revenue, and these are my proposed additional expenses or revenue sided. That is what I need to focus on. So what it does basically is it 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 doesn't really solve any problem for CFO. It simply highlights the problem for CFO. These systems should not, I mean, one should not expect the system to solve any problem for you, but actually highlight the problem. And that's 90% of the job. If you get to know the problem at the right time, you can definitely find a solution around it. But usually what happens, may not know the problem till the time you really lose it, or you get to know a problem very late when you can do very little to fix that problem. So dashboards are the key to give you insight about the business, which can let you see the upcoming problems which you want to see and take an action on. It may not give you what action you need to take, but it will definitely give you what problems they can expect around it. How CFO dashboard can help with Power BI? Well, the focus point in when I talk about dashboard, I'm talking about Power BI only, something I didn't mention earlier. The only and only technology that we have been working for dashboards is Power BI, and the reason for that is it actually does everything we need in terms of the flexibility we are looking for, availability, accessibility, affordability. It has all those parameters checked for us, for customers, and it does the job which is really required. So we never really felt the need to look for any other technology to fulfill the need. Like as Baffles, we are not just Microsoft is Microsoft. We do look at other technology. This is the demand and the requirement. Now, why do we say that dashboards can help CFO? One quickly thing is they should be able to quickly pull the data, look at the single screen. They should be able to see a comprehensive dashboard, which is not coming from one system or one process or one company. Maybe it's coming from a multiple system spread across companies and spread across processes and departments. They don't want to relook at or enter a complex ERP system to find the information they need. They want it very handy. They want information to be available on their mobile. They want it to be accessible without them to need to log into ERP or now like we're using Microsoft Teams, so they can even access in Microsoft Teams. So it should be very easy to access the data rather than going through those entering those complex systems. Let's look at the key business functions, which as an example I'm talking about because we are talking about CFO. So what all different processes or areas that might interest CFO, and they may focus more on that. Cash flow number one, it is the crux of your business. The orders that you're processing, your capex to opex, track on it, your orders to cash, the opportunities of sale, the potential revenue, future revenue, the budget variance, both on expense side and the revenue side, your AR aging, uh, again linked with your cash flow, your inventory, and forecasting. These all look very different areas, and the the way system has been designed, you will see each different module associated with each of different area. And that's exactly where dashboards and with Power BI help. Power BI dashboard, they don't look at these modules as separate modules. They actually combine data all together and present in a single screen, or maybe more than single, maybe two screens, three screens, but still much less than the number of screens that you may have to access otherwise. I'm going to present some sample dashboards so that it's easy for one to understand what type of dashboard we are really referring to and how they can be useful. Let's look at this dashboard, primarily for healthcare. And what are we looking here? The very first thing we see on a screen is actually revenue. It is showing what is my actual revenue versus budget. You can see something in green is natural and blue is in budgeted. In most of the cases, the actual has been more than the budget, but there has been instances where the actual is pretty less than the budgeted, right? Uh, so for CFO, the moment it looks at, okay, well, must be something going wrong in this area, they can immediately jump in that particular revenue side of it and see what is going on. Similarly, on expense side, the very first bar says that my actual expense on the specific category is more than budgeted. Doesn't matter if it is a very minor, change or minor increase from a budget, but it's a matter of concern because it's beyond the budget because budgets usually have the buffer, that CXO keep to engage the company. So if it is even going beyond this budget, there's something definitely they need to look at it. Then similarly, that you can see multiple graphs, uh, like that graph, expense by faculty, expense trend, how the expense has moved over the period of months. Similarly, revenue, and you can see the correlation between the revenue trend and expense trend. And that is very, very interesting because uh, uh, one may see, well, on a specific month, my revenue has gone down, but my expenses have gone up. Or my revenue has gone down, but my expenses have not gone down proportionately. So that again raises one more problem for them to look at and see. Now, am I saying that these problems are not easy to identify? Well, yes and no. I mean, ultimately, how will you analyze the data? You have data, it is your data. But can you really do it in like seconds? I mean, you just look at the dashboard and you immediately see, oh, I see this problem. Otherwise, it is a complex thing. You may look at data independently, look at expense independently, look at revenue independently, look at your budget and actual independently, and then try to make out insight around it, which is difficult to do. So that's what dashboard does. It in a single screen, it made it possible for a CFO to identify multiple problems, something I explained on this particular slide. Let's look at the next slide. Well, a very interesting dashboard, and our customers love it basically. It's a sales analysis dashboard. And a typical salesperson want to know the sales trend over the period of time, region-wise, product-wise, network-wise, the channel partner or direct, and they want to also see the correlation between number of orders they have processed along with number of customers, right? Your sales number may be high, but if those orders are coming from very specific customer, it may not be a good sign. It adds a risk on your business where you are too dependent on few customers than more customers. Then on the right hand side, you can see how schemes which have been introduced or being available to customers, how they are performing, how those schemes are performed over the period of time from month wise. And then, other interesting chart is the sales lead time and size analysis. Practically what it's doing, it is showing that what is your sales lead time versus size. Okay, the bigger the bigger the you know the circle size, it's a bigger the size of the deal, and the time frame you see is the lead time. I mean, usually it's a saying, okay, bigger the lead is, the bigger time it may take, but it may not be correct all the time, right? That's very interesting thing for a salesperson to know that where they should put more energy on. Maybe they are losing on smaller deals, and even smaller deals are taking much more lead time, which they want to fix on, right? I'll quickly jump to one more sample dashboard. This is sales one. I'll skip it. I want to show something which is beyond a CFO side of it, but still CFO may have interest in this particular side, though it is related to HR. Human resource team must be looking at this, but why it is important for CFO? Because everything happening here month to month has a direct impact on finances, has a direct impact on budgets, has a direct impact on the future revenue and expenses. Right, whatever forecasting has been done, if it is really meeting in that direction or not. Now, if you look at this thing, you can see that the new hire has been growing month on month, and then there is a sharp decline, right? And uh, I mean, maybe it is in line with the budgets, maybe it is in line with the expenses, right? Maybe it is not, but it is actually giving some good number, especially let's talk about the service industry where employees are the assets. I mean, there's no other asset than employee, which one has to manage and maintain. Now, for a service industry, if this trend is not aligned with what CFO has in mind in terms of budget, I mean, it's a serious concern. And at least with this, they know where to drill down and try to find more information. Then you have group-wise information and area-wise segregated, how these higher count and active employees are. You also see how many bad hires are in terms of days of employment as well. Now, why it is important? Because every bad hire adds to expense, add to less revenue which you might have, accrued otherwise. So, in nutshell, uh, all I'm trying to say is all this dashboard that you see, uh, they kind of present health of an organization, health of the specific process group department, which otherwise is difficult to see if you have multiple sources and multiple data points or multiple screens to look at. Before I go to next slide, is there any doubt? I've been talking from last few minutes. I didn't even ask. Is there anything anyone want to ask me?
There is one question in the chat, Vikas, if you would like to take now, which is regarding is Power BI replacing financial reporting or management reporting tool? You want to add some thoughts around it?
Yes. Now, if anyone who has worked on management reporting or financial reporting, those are nothing but tabular reports, right? I mean, again, that's a data. You need to have very good eye or experience to, see or get insight out of data. Let's take an example. On this particular dashboard, or maybe I'll just go back. On this dashboard, we do have numbers, right? But what is catching more to your eye? Is it a number or is it the graph and the comparison you can see? Right? Answer is that the graphical information, not really numbers. Numbers become secondary. So those reports have a different purpose altogether, but this is I would say that financial reports and this report will go hand to hand, but eventually Power BI dashboard become much more powerful and usable over a period of time. When user see that the graphical information is saving their time, it's making much more sense than looking at the table. So answer is yes, slowly it is replacing.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think, sorry, that was my question, Vikas. I heard, I think 2-3 years back, this will replace financial reporter in Dynamics. So Microsoft is investing heavily on Power BI now. So I did not track in last 1 year there is some such announcement, or because some companies themselves have developed some reports, financial reports in Power BI. Maybe Microsoft is also going in that direction. You guys have developed something.
Right. So, when I say that, can we have a generic report in Power BI for a company? Well, I would say no is the answer, which is like 60% accurate, and yes is the answer like 40% accurate. The reason for that is that all these are MIs, okay? I mean, you will not find same kind of MIs across the enterprises. You may have small company who might be okay using similar MIs, but not enterprises. Each enterprise is unique. That's the reason their MIs are unique. Their business process, their business insight is unique. That's the reason you don't find too many dashboards out of box available in Dynamics. And what we do, like we have developed those dashboards for our customers, but it has never happened that whatever we've developed has been a direct fit to the other customer need. We always had to redesign uh, pieces of it. Even if I say that the overall look and feel may look the same, but the data is very different for each company. Even the source of the data is very different for each enterprise. Yeah. So now there has been discussion going on that when management reporter or financial reporting will be replaced. I mean, they always take a step ahead. Okay, it can be replaced, but in my experience, I've seen that they have taken a step back, saying, "Okay, it's not ready," because Microsoft is not able to really give a single dashboard which can be used across organization. Ultimately, every organization end up creating their own dashboards, and those tabular reports, I think, are gonna stay for some more time. Maybe they will replace it with something else, but that's not going away. I don't think Power BI will 100% replace it. So Power BI will come a big brother of those reports, I would say.
Cool.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you, Vikas.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Vikas.
Right. Now, I have one last slide before I close it. Uh, there has been many common queries I've received from whosoever really discussed dashboards with me. And I thought it'll be interesting if I can put it in a single slide and answer it, because these are the questions which really help make CXO make decision around these dashboards and Power BI. Let's look at those questions. Like, can we embed these reports in Dynamics, or can we run it independently? Second question is, is it possible to merge the data in a dashboard which is residing in multiple systems, and those systems can be too different from each other, right? Even having a different set of RDBMS system in place, or even maybe they don't even have RDBMS. And enterprises do generate data in Excel, CSVs, and words. Is it possible to read it from there and merge it? Can we merge data from a private cloud, which is another new thing which enterprises are exploring? Can we merge data from public clouds like Azure, AWS, and GCS, or can we have more than one cloud service in a single report? Now let's look at the answers. Embedded in Dynamics, yes, it can be embedded in Dynamics, as well as you can run it independently. Well, yes, I mean, there is no limit that how many sources you can have, or what type of sources you have. Even the answer for next one is also yes, because all these CSV file, Excel, Word, or even images are the sources for the reporting tool. What you do basically is you pick up each source data and you perform ETL operation around it. When I say ETL, it means extract, transform, and load. When you're extracting, the data structure most of the system will have. Usually it's different, right? I mean, I will not say it's same. In every system, even if you take two Dynamics instances, you will still find the extracted data different from each other. Second step is you have to transform the data to a single side of structure, which can be loaded into into Power BI or dashboards, right? It means doesn't matter how many source system you have. Ultimately, you have to extract the data, You have to transform the data, what is required, and then load the data into a single system where Power BI can read it. Though Power BI do have its own storage, but usually we prefer that having maybe an RDBMS system at the back end, which can be uh, updated regularly, and Power BI can read from it. And the reason for that is because once you have that transform data, then you can even do multiple other reports from the same data rather than just working a single report. Can we merge data from private cloud? Yes. I mean, you can read data from any service which support OData, right? Or you can read a file which is available on FTP or EFTP. You can read data from an RDBMS if it is accessible. You can read data from an HTTP service. You can read data from even a website. It can read data from website tables. For example, many of the public sector, they usually provide the indicators and the data on their websites. They may not really provide a web service which can be consumed. Though that's a standard, it should be there, but still they're still catching up. So what is the other alternative, right? You read the website, you read the HTTP data, you look at those tables, extract the data, and then use the data in your report. Can we merge the data? Yes, it doesn't really limit that you only work in Azure, right? Even if you have data in AWS and GCS, or even Oracle Cloud or any other cloud, you can read it, provided they provide those integration, some way to read the data through integration. So answer is yes for all of it. That means the way one should look at Power BI is not just an extension to Dynamics or Microsoft tools. It is an independent tool, which the purpose of this tool is to, uh, convert the data into a insight for the users. And data can be anywhere. Data can be in any format. Data can be stored anywhere, available anywhere. All of it can be combined together and create those dashboards in a single place. Thank you. I hope I didn't bore. I'm okay taking more queries if there is any.
Thank you,
I think
Vikas.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Vikas.
go ahead,
Thanks,
Umesh.
Vikas. A wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a few questions, Vikas. The dashboards which you have shown, are these like some Baffle IPs which partners or customers can
Yes.
reach out to you?
Yes. Some of them are Baffle Soul IPs, and
Okay.
there are many other dashboards which we cannot really show it, as those are, I would say, joint IP between customer and
Yeah.
Baffle Soul, right? And
Okay.
the data is very sensitive.
Right.
Data is everything. So
Right.
definitely, if you need any guidance, any help, we'll be we'll be glad to work with you.
Right. Cool. Just for people who have not worked with Power BI in past and they want to learn, what is your guidance on how they should start learning about Power BI?
Uh, Pick up any course available online. Microsoft has it on DLP, YouTube, or even you can go to a platform like Udemy or something. Buy it. Or, I mean, what I would say is in general, it's not about Power BI, but otherwise, if you want to learn something, do not waste too much of time finding data or information from multiple sources. Pick up one thing, even if you have to spend small money. Nowadays, it's very cheap. You may get a course of Power BI after spending 1,000 or 500 rupees even, right? Start with that. That will give you kickstart. Don't try to read those lengthy web pages available with Microsoft. That will not take you anywhere. Those might be required. Once you are expert, then you want to reread it. But I think to get started, start with e-learning. Self-learning will do. I mean, all courses are good, believe me. If you want any specific course, I can definitely guide. But I would say just look at whatever is available for you and go on.
Perfect. Thank you. I totally agree. We should invest in upskilling ourselves rather than just looking for free stuff. because if you invest, you definitely get good return and you get that structured content available for learning. Cool. Thank you for that, Vikas. And yeah, if anyone has any question, feel free to unmute and ask. Yeah.
I see many of my old friends actually. I'm meeting. Um,
Cool.
Happy to see you all.
Sorry, I had one question. I put in the chat.
Yes, Satya.
You want to ask it? Yeah.
So because as you said, you also work in finance, so I thought I can ask you.
Mhm.
Um, so about financial dimension, right? People
Yes,
were using
yes,
like five, 6, 7, 8 financial dimension in the past, and I know like
Mhm.
5, 6 years back they used to be because
right.
Microsoft allows multiple dimensions now.
Mhm.
So you put item group, you put customer, you put vendors, or whatever you
Yeah.
think of. People used to do that.
Mhm.
Now, after Power BI is introduced, do you think the reliance on those dimensions has been reduced? Reduced means you don't need to really load your transactions with those many dimensions, and you can use the queues and all. You can bring whatever you want in Power BI and get the reports, right? Because there was only financial report or the management reporter before, and that was just the GL level reports you can get from there.
All right. Well, those financial dimension, I don't know why we still call it financial dimension. I mean, those should be called data dimensions. Because these are nothing but data. It's just the way it is structured in a system, way it is designed. We see it as a like an alien thing to any screen, but it's not. It's still a data which we store, and data is available at transaction level. Data is available at master level or worksheets, etc. Now, it does help because whenever we design any enterprise system, the whole reporting revolves around these dimensions, right? I'm intentionally using word called dimension, not financial dimensions, because for me these are not just financial data, right? It's the data, the dimension. So these definitely add to any report you have, be it Power BI or otherwise. It let you slice the data on not just on Power BI but also on like financial report we spoke about. So whenever we have spoken about this dimension to our customers, explain what dimensions means, they loved it. I mean, then they know, okay, now we can use it while keeping their chart of account very limited. I would say main account
Right.
limited and extended chart of account using these dimensions, which practically has no limit, and it becomes a tabular or array like of a matrix like of structure instead of a normal table structure.
No, I completely agree. And I don't know if Microsoft will be changing the name, but I agree with your point.
But do you agree that we shouldn't call it financial dimension? I mean, I don't know why we call financial
Uh,
dimension.
I think one of the reason is it is conceptually I agree. My experience is it doesn't flow to like every table, every transition in the system. Let's say customer count, vendor count, all those kind of things. It doesn't flow everywhere. Uh, but I think the name can be changed. Yes.
Yeah.
So you work on the data more. So I think you want to be agnostic of any module or any side of the business, right?
Right. Well, I mean, the other reason, I was saying this because I've seen how this thing have changed. I mean, every time Microsoft has come up with a new version, they've changed the way financial dimension has to work, and that has added more work to technical people. I mean, Chit will agree
Yeah,
with me.
true.
The more biggest problem for every upgrade was dimensions. I don't know why Microsoft want to play around with it, but never mind,
And
because it's an important thing, right? It's the most important thing.
yeah, you must have seen that they're also bringing in the tag now,
Yes,
like
yes,
financial tag. I think they call it.
right. Microsoft is a little
That
behind with the tagging functionality. I think the other players are much ahead in terms of tagging. We are seeing tag thing with other enterprise systems from last 5 years, I guess. So it's good they're bringing it now. Never leave.
Yeah.
Just to add my thoughts here, like I believe financial dimension framework is one of the quite strong framework in finance, which is a very
Yeah,
good selling point as well. When customers go deep in exploring the capabilities of this framework, they really love it, and every
exactly.
customer is using it in a different way. So yeah, it's not just for reporting, it has lot more depth to it. Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. Any more questions, guys, or any feedback? Anyone wants to unmute and say something? Cool.
I
Thank
think
you. Yeah.
session was very good. It was very
Yeah.
impressive. I was
Thank you, Umesh.
Yeah, I was thinking that it would be more towards the something which Vikas will show us wherein we can improve our health. But it turned to be a very interesting factor wherein we got insights of the Power BI, how effectively Power BI dashboards can be used in unifying and displaying the data, wherein we can actually find us very good health of the finance, and then HR management or different type of ERPs and getting data from different clouds. That was very nice. Yeah. Thank you very much, Vikas.
Thank you, Umesh.
Nice session, Vikas. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for finding time and joining this. I hope it was of use. And if you have any query, I don't know, Rachit, my email will be available, right? And you can post, so one can reach to me anytime you have anything. Thank you so much.
Sure. Sure. We will, in the recorder session, we will post your email address so that in case anybody require more help on the dashboards, definitely they will reach out to you. And the next session would be, I will be taking the session. It will be more towards the Power Platform fundamentals. So be aware of this session. So let's meet on 30th of September. Until then, bye-bye, signing off. Thank you.
Umesh, before you close, Umesh, before you
Mhm.
close, is that your very recent photo?
No, no, not very recent. It is when I was in Hitachi days.
When he graduated, huh?
No, 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 not graduated. It's almost 9 years back.
Uh,
No, I'm just kidding
we
you.
all in the same boat, Tarun. I still use a photo which passport size which I clicked when I was in 10+2, and I don't know why, but I still have that. So it works.
You should also, Umesh, you should upgrade now.
I do.
Sure, sure.
The old version.
On, on LinkedIn, I have updated. I will update this as well. Sure.
No, no,
Feedback
it
taken.
looks good, man. It looks good, but thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Okay,
everyone.
thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Vikas. Bye.